Yes, hello everyone. This is Patrick, and in today's video, I'm going to take you through business calculations basing on these workers that I compiled. This is what we are going to use to deal with our business calculations using Spreadsheet. And when you look at our questions, all our tasks, the first instruction says, using a spreadsheet software of your choice, perform the following tasks. So all these are our tasks that we are going to go through when working with the business calculations. Now, from the beginning, we have to save our file before anything. So when you look at this last task, it says save your work as GPS-workers in a folder labeled with your names. So let us first create a folder where our work is going to be saved on the desktop. So first of all, create a folder on the desktop, and I will label it using my names, Patrick, and this is what we are going to save in our folder. So we'll save it in our folder that we've created, which is this, and the question said the file name is GPS-workers as our file name. We'll click on save. So our file is now saved. Let us now go to the tasks according to the question. B says add 3 columns after that of basic pay for housing, insurance, and transport. It is given that housing is 10% and transport is 5% of basic pay. Then insurance is 70,000 for each worker. So let us first of all enter these fields in our worksheet. The first one is housing, so we'll enter this, housing. Then the second is insurance, then the last one is transport. Can resize this. Now they have given us what we are going to base on to calculate housing, insurance, and transport. And housing is 10%, transport is 5%, and insurance is 70,000 for each worker. So let us have those housing, insurance, and transport all calculated. So from here, we'll begin by calculating housing, which will be equals basic pay, which basic pay we are basing on this, which will be B2 times the percentage given is 10%. So press enter. So this will be our housing. Will autofill down to get the housing allowance for these other workers. Then we go to insurance. In the question, insurance is 70,000 for each worker. So we'll just fill in 70,000 for all the workers. We'll just autofill to have the same insurance. Then let us go to transport. Transport, according to the question, transport is 5% of basic pay. So we'll still say equals B2, which is our basic pay, times the percentage given is 5%. So we'll have this as our formula for transport. So we'll press enter to get transport, and we still autofill down for all other workers. So this is how we deal with the calculating transport housing basing on the percentage given. Let us go back to the questions and see. C says add 3 columns for gross pay, tax and net pay. After that of transport, it is given that gross pay is equal to basic pay plus housing plus allowance, insurance and transport. So we are going to add a column for gross pay in our worksheet. So we'll add here gross pay. Let us add all of them. This is tax, and then this is net pay. So let us have them all there. So we are having all these ones according to the question, and they said gross pay is adding basic plus all the allowances. Let's first delete this column because we don't need it. Let's first delete it. We're having we are adding basic pay, housing, insurance and transport to get gross pay. So we'll say equals sum, we open the brackets, the range of all of these cells starting from cell B2 up to cell E2. We close the brackets and press enter. So we'll have our gross pay for all the workers there. So this is their gross pay. Then according to the question, it says with the tax is determined using the following details. So this is the information that we are going to use to calculate tax. Now here it depends on which formula that you can base on to calculate tax, and in this case I'm going to use if function to calculate the tax. So we'll come here and begin and say equals, we say if, we open the brackets, we are basing on their gross pay to tax them. So we'll be referring to the criteria according to the question as we are entering our formula. So we'll say F2, which is our gross, and in the question it says above 1 million they will be taxed 30%. So we'll say above 1 million, comma, they are taxed 5%. So the 30%, we'll put 30%, and then we multiply it by the gross pay, which is F2. We put a comma, we still say if, open the brackets, F2 above, this is now 800,001 to 1 million. So we'll put that 800,001. Has it exceeded? This is. Let me first of all check here. Yes, 801. So we multiply. We put a comma first. They are taxed. These ones are taxed 25%, and then we multiply it by the cell itself. Then we put a comma. We still say if. We open the brackets. F2 above. Let us first of all see. This is now 500,001. So we'll say 501. This is exceeding, so 501, comma, these ones are taxed 20%. So we'll say 20% times F2. We still put a comma and say if, we open the brackets, F2, which is our gross pay, is above, if that gross pay is above 310,000, so 300, sorry, this is 310, and then this one. What will be taxed on those who are paid 310,001? They will be taxed, look at the question, 15%. So these ones are taxed 15% times F2. We put a comma, we still say if, open the brackets, F2 this time is below 300, below this amount, below 310,000. These ones will not be paying tax, so we'll say we put a comma and it is always a 0% that we are representing, and you're multiplying it by F2. Now after the last part, we have to close all the brackets that we opened at the end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the end we are closing 5 brackets. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we press enter. So this one is paying tax of this amount. Let us get others to see. So when you look at these ones are not entitled to pay tax because their basic, sorry, their gross pay is below 310,000. That's why they are represented with a 0, which means they are not paying tax. So this is how we deal with the that function to generate their tax. Then let us look at the other question, which is this. So net pay is equal to gross pay minus tax. So let us also calculate net pay by saying equals, we are basing on F2 minus the tax, which is G2, and then we press enter. So this will be the final payment as net pay according to the question. So this is what they are all paid after the taxes are deducted from gross pay. That is how it is calculated basing on the question. Let us continue and see. Add a nice looking border around your work. So we're having these other tasks that we are going to add onto our question, and this one says, or D says, add a nice looking border. So let us add borders around our work. So we'll highlight all this information in our worksheet. We add the borders by clicking on this drop down arrow, and then say or click on all borders. So we'll have borders around our work. Let us see other tasks. Then change the column headings to 90 degrees, colored red, and fill the row with the color green. So let us change the column headings. These are our column headings, so we'll highlight all of them and change. We change the features that they have asked. They have said change the column headings to 90 degrees. So we'll change it by clicking on format cells, alignment, and 90 degrees is this, and then we click OK. So that one is that. Then it has to be given color red, so we'll give it color red, which is already here. That one is that. Then fill the row with the color green, so we can fill it with the color green. This row here, we are filling it with the color green, so we'll come to this and choose green. That is that. Then increase the row height to 90.5. So we are increasing this row height to 90. After highlighting it, we'll go to format row height, and we are giving it 90.5 as the size. You press enter to have it adjusted, so you can see how it is adjusted based on the row height. The other one says use 1000 separator in all the values and add SHS currency symbol on all your values. So we are going to add a separator in our values with a currency symbol. What we'll do is to highlight all our values, and we click on this comma here. So we'll have a comma. Let me adjust this a bit, but we don't need decimal points. We decrease it and remove them, so decimals will be removed. We are supposed to apply a currency symbol on these values. Currency. Now, since this currency, according to the question, it asks us to use this SHS currency symbol. So this time we have to customize the currency symbol such that we can use it on our values. Now, to add this currency symbol, we click on control, or sorry, we click on the start button, and then we go to control panel. From the control panel, we go to clock, language, and region. We choose region, additional settings, currency. So we'll add our currency symbol, which is SHS as our currency symbol. We click on apply and OK. We still repeat the same. We click on apply and OK. So when we go back to our worksheet, we are representing our values with the currency symbol by clicking on format cells, number. We go to currency. Our currency, we click on the drop down arrow and look for this symbol. Then after, we click OK. So we'll have all our values with the SHS as our currency symbol, as you're seeing all of them represented with the currency symbol. So that is how we add currency symbols that you're asked to use or to apply onto the values when you're using Spreadsheet. Let us look at other tasks. It says in row 1, add a title, Genesis Secondary School. The title should run across your work. So we are going to add a title to our work, and the title is supposed to be above. So we'll first of all insert a row where our title will go, and it has to merge up to where this ends. So we can merge it, and our title is Genesis. Sorry, let it be in capital letters. Genesis Secondary School. So this will be our title according to the question. It continues and say, bold all your headings in your worksheet. So you have to bold all these headings. We can as well bold this. If not, we can as well increase on the font size. Let us give it some size at least. Let us give it 22 according to the size we want to give it, such that it is also given some appealing size. Then the other one says insert a centered header of your names. So we'll go to insert and then choose header, and it has to be centered. So we need to center our header. Let us put our header. So that is our header according to the question that it asks us to insert a centered header. So those are some of the tasks when you look at this question, and it is based on these workers. It depends on the information you're dealing with. It can base on employees of certain organization, how much they are paid. If they are given some allowances, you can look at giving them the allowances basing on percentages. So whenever you're dealing with the calculating using business, or when you're dealing with the business calculations in spreadsheet, you work with the percentages and everything moves on very well. Let me try to change this work, because I'm seeing this part here forcing itself to another page. So allow me to change this page orientation to landscape, such that we have all of them to one side. And where need to be, let me reduce on the size of these columns, such that we have our work represented on one page, such that it is not having this part that is not displayed. So let us have it on one page like this. Let us end here, and that has been working with the business calculations. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Computer Elites Uganda. So let us meet next time in the next video. Thank you.